Leadership Without the Fluff, Episode 12, The Conclusion. Welcome back, my friends, to another LinkedIn first video. It means it goes on LinkedIn before any of my other social channels. My name is Troy Stone King. Thank you for watching. We're just finishing up a series of episodes called Leadership Without the Fluff, where we talk about foundational leadership principles. You see, I believe that you don't need 100 principles of leadership in order to be a great leader, but you need some foundational principles. And from there, you can grow and learn. So let's talk about kind of a review of what we've covered in the last 12 episodes. So the first episode was an introduction. In episode 2, we talked about leading from the mirror. And that means that you need to lead yourself before you can be a great leader of anyone else. You need to be able to control and manage your own emotions. You need to be able to take care of your own behaviors. In episode 3, we talked about focus matters, and focus matters in 4 areas for leaders. The first area of focus is to focus on your own well-being. That is, your physical health, your psychological health, your emotional health, and your relationship health. If you can't be healthy in all those areas, then you can't be a great leader to help others. You need to take care of your health first in all those 4 areas. And the second focus in that episode was leaders need to care for the bottom line of the organization, whether it's a business you work in that don't own or it's your own business. If you're not helping to make the bottom line better, increasing revenue, decreasing expenses, then why are you there? If the bottom line fails, the organization is gone and you're no longer a leader, because there is no team to lead. In the third focus in that area, we talked about leaders need to care for their teams. You need to be concerned about the people on your team's work-life balance and their health in those areas. And finally, the fourth focus in that was to be watching out for your own personal growth, to improve your ability to understand better how to work with people, better how to work with different personalities to be a stronger leader. In episode 4, we talked about getting in the trenches. And I told the story about when I was a leader in an organization and we were switching out a lot of equipment. I worked an overnighter with the people on my team. Why? Because 1, they needed the help, and 2, it was important for me to be there for them, to know that they could trust me, not just to say the right things, but to actually be there and help them in appropriate ways in their jobs. Not to micromanage, but to be there and help out. In episode 5, we talked about checking your ego at the office door and not being the kind of leader who always has to be right, but understanding that you need to be able to say sometimes, you know what, I was wrong. And I need to be able to say, you know what, I was wrong. It's okay to be wrong as a leader. Admit it, ask forgiveness, move forward. In episode 6, we talked about leadership and love. And we don't talk about love very often in a work environment, but the truth is, love really is taking care of another person's needs above your own. Now, that doesn't mean you take care of their needs instead of your own health, but you take care of their needs as long as you're maintaining your own health in those areas such as physical and psychological, emotional, and relationship, okay? But you've got to take care of everyone else's needs as well. You've got to show them great regard and love. And then we talked about in episode 7, the inheritance principle. The inheritance principle means that you, whatever your attitudes are, what your behaviors are, that's going to flow down to your team. If you're an arrogant person, like I used to be, then you're going to have a lot of arrogant people. If you don't listen to direction from above, then your people are not going to listen to you. If you are kind and generous and caring and still productive, then you'll get a kind and generous and caring and productive team. Then we talked about in episode 8, being confidently vulnerable. Confidently vulnerable. Confident enough to make the decisions and move forward and let your team know that you're comfortable with those decisions and you believe in them, but vulnerable enough to say, sometimes I don't have all the answers. and opening up the floor to get input and ideas from the people on your team. You know why? Because you hired these really intelligent, capable people. You should ask their opinions. Or you inherited a team with all these really intelligent, capable people. You should listen to their opinions. Be confident, but vulnerable. And then in episode 9, we talked about be sociable, which means that work together to put together opportunities to have to get together with your team in non-work situations. So have team lunches every couple of weeks or so. Go out together bowling, go play games together. Enjoy each other's company in a way that's not work-related so that you can grow closer as people. You see, the truth is, people buy from others that they know, like, and trust, but they also work better for people that they know, like, and trust. In episode 10, we talked about creating a safe space, and I mentioned that when I'm a leader in an organization, I have an open door policy. I tell my people, if the door's open, come on in and talk. And when we have our regular one-on-one sessions, we not only talk about work-related issues and projects, but I give them opportunities to say, hey, tell me what's on your mind, what's bothering you, so that they can share, so that they can be comfortable opening up a little bit. And it doesn't always happen right away, but eventually if you continue to give them opportunities, they will open up and you can help them in ways that you couldn't help them as just their manager. You can help them because you know them as a person. And then in episode 11, we talked about being the kind of leader you want to have. One of the most critical tenets of a great leader is that you create leaders to follow after you. If you want to create leaders, great leaders, then you need to be the kind of leader you want to have. If you want the people on your team to be kind and generous and thoughtful, we've kind of talked about this, but you want to turn them into that kind of leader, then you need to be that kind of leader as well. Sometimes you need to ask yourself, what would a great leader do? And then do that. And by the way, the inheritance principle we talked about back in episode 7, sometimes that flows up as well. And if you're the kind of leader you'd like to have, occasionally your leader inherits those capabilities, those behaviors also. So I hope, my friends, that you've gotten some value out of these episodes related to leadership without the fluff, just the foundational principles of leadership. Feel free to catch all my videos, including the videos I do on Facebook that are more personal relationship-oriented, personal growth, and marriage. Those are on my YouTube channel, along with these videos at youtube.com/TroyStoneKing. That's youtube.com/TroyStoneKing. Hey, if you like this video, hit the like button for me. I'd appreciate it. Feel free to send me a private message. And also, feel free, if you'd like to send me an email. That's live@TroyStoneKing.com, live@TroyStoneKing.com. And I'm developing right now a course on how to ask for and likely get a raise that's better than you've gotten in the past, way better than the standard 2 or 3%. If you're interested in information on that, no commitment, no obligation, just getting a list of people who might like more details when we're close to release, live@TroyStoneKing.com. Send me an email. Thank you, my friends. Have a great day and be a great leader.